Suspend your disbelief, your rational, analytic mind, just for a minute, just for the length of this podcast. What if all I am about to tell you is the truth? What if the information you will be provided is from a divine source? Just for this time, I am your Axis Mundi. Consider this podcast your channel, your second opinion. When I do a reading, something larger than myself is working through me. So ask what you wish. This is your channel, your doorway to the divine. Welcome to John's Tarot. Welcome to you from wherever in the world you may be viewing this video or listening to this podcast. Welcome to you from California.
You take the blue pill. The story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Welcome to you from Florida.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
Welcome to you from Georgia.
You are talking to a man who has laughed in the face of death, sneered at doom, and chuckled at catastrophe.
Welcome to you from Minnesota. Welcome to you from Illinois.
Now, don't make any more mistakes.
Welcome to you from Victoria, Australia.
Certainly. If at first you don't succeed, keep on sucking till you do succeed.
Welcome to you from Ontario, Canada.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. And I hope you all had a good week. Let's do my little bit of a housekeeping first. I hope you enjoy my little background. I'm just making some little videos when I go out for a walk and some of the local sites, and that's one of the local areas. And that's my background. If you would like to appear as a guest on John's Tarot, send me a little email to john@johnstarot.net, and you can go out to my webpage, contact me there, or leave something for me on YouTube, and we'll arrange for you to do an interview. If you have something interesting or something that would benefit other people or a message you would like to get out, this is a good place to do it. The most important underground site on YouTube. And I also wanted to tell you that as prices continue to rise, the prices here at John's Tarot will remain the same. There'll be no price increase as a result of tariffs here on John's Tarot. My current publication will be free. My future publications will be free. My past publications are all free. Also, I think that's all my big things I wanted to get. Oh, if you would like a tarot reading, go ahead and contact me for a tarot reading if you would like that. And we'll go ahead and set up an appointment for you to do a tarot reading. I'm looking to get a couple in each week. And it's no big deal. I send you a link. Time and space is no barrier to the ability to do tarot readings. I've done tarot readings for people in Belgium, in England, all over the world. So time and space is not an option, is not a difficulty, is not a barrier. So contact me and we will set up a tarot reading. I'm just going to switch right over to my page today, and we'll get right into today's program. So, I am going to offer up some things that I have seen on the news this week. These are things that have caught my attention or that spirit has brought to my attention and that I have thought are important. Our current leadership is a matter of concern for me. I have noticed, and I'm nobody. I'm no big mind. I'm no big intellect. But I have noticed our current leadership engages in things called, he's been very, and I didn't want to get into this with the guy, but he has been showing signs of deterioration. He started back on his run for the presidency. He's been very, he calls it the weave. I call it being tangential. You know, he wanders all over in his, off the point. He engages in confabulation. He makes up facts and exaggerations. I've noticed an increase in his, he's cursing and his anger. And I'm not the only one who have noticed these things. And that's why I'm going to go ahead and I've seen it on the internet. Other people have talked about it, and I'm going to show you some articles that I have run into this week. This one here on Trump's struggles to even finish a sentence behind obvious signs of Trump's growing dementia. Talks about now, if you want to get into more detailed political tarot readings, there's a gal I listen to. Her name is Marianne on Revealing Light Tarot, and she does a much more detailed analysis of what's going on with our government. I'm just a dabbler, but I am concerned, because of the things that I've been seeing, and I am not the only one who has noticed, and that's why we're going to talk about that today. I'm going to go ahead and read part of this article. To ensure the United States will always be led by a coherent, functioning president, the 25th Amendment provides for the prompt, orderly, and democratic transfer of executive power in the event of the president is incapacitated, physically or mentally. Trump's tariff debacle, where he thrust out his chest, flung economic incoherence at the world, and then flip-flopped only 2 days later, was the strongest evidence yet. In a rolling sea of evidence that he is mentally incapacitated. Despite inheriting the strongest post-COVID economy in the world, Trump keeps insisting that the U.S. economy is broken and in need of saving. He insists the global trading partners who sells us more than they buy from us, even countries that are a fraction of our size, are taking advantage of us. Now, a lot of people have noticed this, that some of the stuff he's saying is just incoherent, doesn't make sense. Leaders of the EU, and I will offer evidence of this in other articles, are too intelligent to sneer out loud at Trump's flip-flop on tariffs. Aware of his deranged lust for revenge, they are reluctant to utter the truth about his economic ignorance. But the world is aware, even if Americans aren't, that our president, they're going to use a strong term here, is showing signs of being incapacitated. Because Trump administration has refused to release his medical records, other mental health professionals have come forward with their own assessments. The emerging consensus is that Trump is showing signs of cognitive decline and is presenting signs of advanced dementia. Psychotherapist John Gardner, a former Johns Hopkins University medical facility, is so alarmed about Trump's cognitive impairment that he's circulating a petition addressing it among thousands of psychiatrists, psychologists, and other credentialed mental health professionals. Gardner wrote last year that Trump showed signs of progressive deterioration in memory, thinking, and ability to use language, behavior of both gross and fine motor skills. Trump struggles to finish even a complete sentence. And I've seen issues related to that. If you have been watching, I hope you've seen. I want to go here to this article. And this here is an article on Donald Trump's dementia rumors in overdrive as he is displaying obvious signs of decline, which are becoming heightened by emotional overload. So this article had to do with, Trump got mad at Putin for his bombing of Ukraine, and Putin is just kind of, they see that he is in decline. They don't want to make an issue of it. And they don't want to embarrass him, and they're just trying to treat him like a decaying grandpa. And so Trump this week said something about, he's following Russia's attack on Ukraine on May 25th, an attack that left 12 people dead. Trump went off on Truth Social. Something has happened to Putin. He has gone absolutely crazy. I've always said that he wants all of Ukraine, not just a piece of it, and maybe that's proving to be right. But if he does, it will lead to the downfall of Russia. And this is how Russia just kind of bypasses Trump. They realize he's not doing well. We are grateful to the Americans and to President Trump personally for their assistance in organizing and launching his negotiation process, Peskov told reporters. Of course, at the same time, this is a very crucial moment which associated, of course, with emotional overload of everyone absolutely and with emotional reactions. So they're just kind of trying to bypass Trump, just like, okay, Grandpa, thank you. Thank you for your concern. And Europe is well aware of what's going on with Trump, and they are just kind of blowing him off. There is other evidence of decline, and that is in this article here. 10 times Trump has threatened and then backtracked on the, what are they calling, on the tariffs as taco trade, jabs gain trajectory. And this is on MSNBC. And MSNBC, Trump has created a climate of uncertainty that has caused some businesses to lay off workers and delay investments, as well as led to volatility in the stock market. Some financial analysts have taken to calling Trump's on-again, off-again moves taco trade, or the taco theory, an acronym for Trump always chickens out. And here are 10 times that Trump has backtracked on his trade policy. Now, I would expect, somebody to backtrack. Okay, you backtrack once or twice. And, I reevaluated this. But this is becoming other people are noticing. It's happened with much too much frequency. So on the EU tariffs, Trump said the tariffs would go into effect on June 1st. But 2 days later, he delayed it until July 9th, after he said he'd spoken with the EU Commission, President Ursula von der Leyen. Trump said she asked for the delay. Okay. Then again, wine tariffs. Aside from a wider tariffs on the EU, Trump announced March 13th on social media that he would impose a 200% tariff on wine imports imported to the United States from the EU after the EU threatened a 50% tariff on American whiskey. That threat came in response to Trump's earlier tariffs on European steel and aluminum. But there have been no tariffs on European wines aside from Trump's blanket 10% on all imports. So he backed off on the wine tariffs. Tariffs on Mexico, Canada and Mexico, he's backed off on those. Tariffs on film, Trump said on May 4th on social media, he was directing his administration to start collecting a 100% tariff on any and all movies coming into our country that are produced in foreign lands without giving any details about when or how it would be collected. A few hours later, the White House said that no final decision has been made and that the administration was exploring its options. This is kind of disturbing. His issues on reciprocal tariffs, he's backed off on that. On China tariffs, but just as the last pre-tariff imports from China had arrived in U.S. ports and shipments from China were on track to tumble, Trump said he was lowering the tariffs to 10% for 90 days, giving the U.S. and Chinese officials time to begin trade discussions after an initial meeting between Treasury Secretary Bassett and his Chinese counterpart. Trump left a separate 20% tariff in place related to the country's production of ingredients in fentanyl. His tariffs on phone. Trump said he increased tariffs on China to at least 145%. Trump created a carve-out for phones and some other electronics made in China, lowering the tariffs to 20%. He had a tariff on Colombia. On Trump's 6th day in office, he ignited a trade spat with Colombia that lasted less than 24 hours. Trump threatened Colombia with a 25% tariff after its president barred 2 U.S. military aircraft carrying migrants from the landing in the country. The United States is a major importer of coffee, flowers, and produce from Colombia. Yeah, a 200% tariff on American coffee. We don't produce coffee here. We do produce some in Hawaii, but not much. And then there's been some other issues. Let's see here. What's another one? Trump sparks more fears of cognitive decline after fumbling answer on student visas. So the internet users expressed worry about a 78-year-old president's cognitive abilities after needing to ask a reporter several basic follow-up questions. before responding. For several years, some have raised concern about Trump's health and cognitive abilities. Now, this is coming from foreign sources. We're not talking about it here in America. Our major media sources are not discussing it, because if they discuss it, Trump puts a 200, he'll sue you for billions of dollars. I'm just reporting on what the other countries are reporting. I'm just echoing what they're already saying. A reporter asked Trump on Wednesday if the administration planned on resuming foreign student visa interviews, to which he struggled to answer. When could the administration resume interviews for foreign students' visas? The reporter asked, to which Trump replied, on what? The reporter responded, foreign student visas, to which the follow-up, for the French? She replied, no, for foreign students. Again, Trump asked another clarifying question, getting seemingly agitated. What are you referring? Foreign visas for what? Are you talking about for colleges? She confirmed yes. So let's just go right up to the tarot page and ask some questions about concerns. My ability to read tarot is a gift, an expression of divine love, and I'm here to share it with you in that same spirit. Let's ask some questions. Is the White House covering up for some of Trump's cognitive decline? And that's usually a yes and no. Let's go ahead and shuffle the deck. Are they aware, is the White House aware of Trump's cognitive decline? And are they covering up? Let's do a yes and no on that. And I'm just going to run this today as long as I run it. I'm already into 17 minutes. Is the White House aware, and are they covering up for some of Trump's cognitive decline? So for this question, swords and pentacles are no, wands and cups are yes. Is the White House aware of Trump's cognitive decline? And are they trying to cover up? Because that would really make sense. How strong they come out. How this Caroline Leavitt really comes out so strongly in support of Trump. I mean, it's very unusual. Is the White House aware of Trump's cognitive decline? And are they covering up? They've also took down all of Trump's speeches off the White House website, because he'll ramble tangentially, and they've taken all those things down. They don't want any evidence of that up there. Is the White House aware, and are they covering up for some of Trump's cognitive decline? Our first card, 10 of Wands. So that's a yes. Second card, 7 of Cups. That's a yes. Third card, Queen of Pentacles, where I throw out all major arcana. Fourth card, the Chariot. I throw that one out. Fifth card, Cups. 8 of Cups. That's a yes. And then the sixth card is the 7 of Pentacles. So it looks like I've got 1, 2, 3 cups and 2 pentacles. So yeah, they're aware of it. They're aware of it. They're covering it up. And that's why they're coming out so positive, so strong about this. I mean, oh my goodness. Some of the way they come out so and so defensively, they're so defensive in all their questions that we ask, which would just require a normal response. So, they know about Trump's cognitive decline, and it also answers the question: is he experiencing cognitive decline? The tarot says yes. What do I know? Remember, this is for entertainment purposes only. What do I know? I'm just a tarot reader. Let me gather the cards. And I have some more things that I was wanting to talk about. Some things that are a little bit more interesting. Yeah, our president has some cognitive decline. What, is that a big surprise? I have some other things here that are a little bit more interesting. So this week, I saw this article, and I thought it was pretty interesting. So I'll go ahead and I'll play it for you. And it has to do with, do we possess the ability to manipulate time and space? Now, I'm not just making this stuff up. This is where I picked it up. So let me go ahead and play this.
That they released. Trump's top science advisors recently admitted that the government may have anti-gravity technology. Look at this.
Our passenger planes are slower than they used to be. Our trains crawl compared to those in other parts of the world. Our cars do not fly. We are capable of so much more. Our technologies permit us to manipulate time and space.
Our technology has permitted us to manipulate time and space. I found an article on that on the internet too. I thought that was most interesting. And the article talks about the White House Office of Science and Technology Director Michael Krastios, that's who we just watched, made an absolutely bonkers claim. Our technologies permit us to manipulate time and space. Now, the article goes on to talk about how Trump's anti-science agenda has already proven devastating. Recently revealed proposed budget could cut NASA's science budget nearly in half, an extinction-level event for NASA. Now, in just 1 week, Trump granted nearly 70 coal-fired power plants a 2-year exemption from federal requirements to reduce harmful emissions. So he is investing not in future technology, but in past technology. Trump's chaotic rule has thrown the entire tech sector into chaos and raised concerns of an imminent recession. Massive budget cuts to healthcare and Social Security could undercut the ability of individuals to innovate. I'm concerned about cuts in healthcare. I'm in the hospital. Most of the COVID admissions I've seen have been primarily from nursing homes, but my wife comes to tell me one of the people she's working with has come down with COVID, and now the administration is cutting back on COVID vaccinations so that insurance companies will not cover COVID vaccinations. But I'm not going to go into that, but those are the things that are happening. What I'm going to go ask, and I'm into 23 minutes. Do we possess the ability to manipulate time and space? Even though it seems like the administration is cutting back on those types of experiments, do we possess the ability to alter time and space? So let me go ahead and shuffle the deck. Or let me put it differently. What does it look like? First, I'll ask, do we possess the ability to alter time and space? With cutbacks in our science budget, what are the possibilities? What does it look like of us being able to alter time and space? And I'll throw some maroons on this one. What does it look like in our ability to, with the current cutbacks in science, our ability and our discussion of the ability to be able to alter time and space? Well, how does that look? It's kind of vague, but I'm going to go ahead and put it out there. My first card is the 8 of Swords. My second card is the Death card. My third card is the 7 or 6 of Swords. I'll throw some maroons on that. For the 8 of Swords, the Death card, and the 6 of Swords, how does it look like for our ability to manipulate time and space? My first rune is the Sig runes, Suelo. And it has to do with light over success, light over darkness. And my second rune for the Death card, well, you know, Ingwas. And then my third rune. This is more interesting than my my first story. And this rune is called Iwas. our ability to manipulate time and space. Seven of Swords. That ability in the past, we have been, we know all the pieces to that. We know all the parts. We have known the mathematical limitations. We have understood and seen those things, but we have been unable to see our way through in the past. We have been unable to find a way to manipulate these things in the past, because this is in the past. But just recently, Swallow is the Sig rune, light over darkness, success. We have just recently saw a way path through that. We have just recently saw ability to overcome that significant limitation, the mechanical limitations to doing that. The Death card has to do with, when you see the Death card, you think, oh my God, in the past, to be able to do that has meant the death of anything that we've sent through the portals or sent through our ability to do that. But there's been a new start, a new beginning. The Death card generally means rebirth. And then the rune, this one rune is called Ingwas, has to do with breakthroughs. So there has recently been a breakthrough in this. There's recently been breakthroughs in this technology. How interesting is that? To manipulate time and space. There's been a rebirth and a breakthrough in our ability to manipulate this book, time and space. And then the third card is the Six of Swords. And as we go forward, yeah, they've done it. They have broken through the ability to manipulate time and space. And we have this ability, the tarot card of the Six of Swords has to do with traveling over troubled waters, having the ability to help people in life-threatening situations, ability to guide through difficult times. But troubled waters is the general meaning, and they have found a way through. And then the rune has to do with the rune of Iwas has to do with doing this with strength and dignity. So even though we have had problems in this area, difficulties, they have found a way through. There's been a breakthrough in the ability to manipulate time and space. What will that bring us? What could we I'm going to throw just a couple more runes on this one. Let me go ahead and gather the cards. So, the ability to manipulate time and space is a reality, although we don't see it. See, with tarot, we have the ability to see through the curtain, to see through what they're not telling us. And that's what I'm experimenting with right here. So what will that mean to us? So they have the ability to manipulate time and space. What will that mean to us? A deeper question. What will that mean to us? Page of Pentacles, first card. Second card, it's interesting, is the Seven of Cups. Third card is the Six of Pentacles. I'll throw some runes on that. So what will that mean to us, the ability to manipulate time and space? My first rune is Berkana. This is a bold prediction. But I'll just read the cards. This is how the cards came out. For the Seven of Cups, this rune is called Orthelia. What will it mean to us? And then the third rune is Bayu. So the Page of Pentacles has to do with compound interest, learning new skills, learning new abilities. And then, so that's what it's going to mean to us. We're going to learn new skills, learn new abilities. I hope it's revealed to the United States population. And then the rune Berkana has to do with nurturing, new businesses, new opportunities. It also has to do with flowing into new forms. So compound interest, we're just figuring out what this will mean to us. It's going to change us financially. It's going to have an effect financially. It's going to affect new businesses and and we're going to flow into new forms and new business opportunities. It also has to do with nature nourishing families and breakthrough in families. And I always like to look at this one, the rune Berkana is like a woman's breast. So we're being nurtured by the universe. That's interesting. And then the tarot card, we're going to have many choices. The Seven of Cups, a lot of choices. It's going to be up to science and people managing this science breakthrough to manage the myriad new opportunities which are going to avail themselves to us. And this is an inheritance. I don't quite understand that one. It has to do with inheritance. The rune Orthelia has to do with inheritance. This has been built on technology and work of past generations, these new opportunities. And this will be an inheritance we're going to pass on down to our progeny, to the generations ahead of us. And then the Six of Pentacles is going to enrich us. That was going to enrich our society. Is going to this is quite interesting. Enrich our society, enrich our businesses, and it also has to do with being chosen. I don't know how that. You're supposed to be that will be managed fairly, and that it'll enrich future generations, and failure has to do with transferable wealth. And it's going to enrich our society. So there's a little bit of good news as we move forward, because we can use some good financial news. That's how this technology is going to affect us. That they're looking at it in terms of Page of Pentacles, compound interest, Berkana being nourished, and good opportunities for moving forward and flowing into flowing into new forms. And then the Seven of Cups, myriad opportunities. This will be an inheritance we're going to pass on through to future generations, and it's going to mean increased opportunities for wealth that'll be distributed fairly. I like that. And then strictly the rune is Feu, has to do with transferable wealth we're going to transfer not only in our lives, but into the lives of future generations. Well, how interesting is that? And I didn't expect that.
Goodbye, Professor Marvel, and thanks a lot!
Well, it was my pleasure. Today was a most bizarre kind of readings. I did some interesting readings. Got some interesting information to pass on. Space and time manipulation. It's going to affect us financially in a positive way. Big concerns about our current leadership. Treatment is probably indicated. And I hope he's managed carefully by his handlers. I see that being managed. So until next week, be careful, be cool, be kind. And I will see you all next week. Remember, have faith, find courage, and I'll see you all again next week. All right, bye-bye.